So these are the different statements of first law of thermodynamics. Now we have to see the mathematical expression. To see the mathematical expression, to understand the mathematical expression, we have to take example of expansion of gas. Okay. See the mathematical expression for first law of thermodynamics. Mathematical expression for first law of thermodynamics. First law. Okay. For this first law, mathematical expression, suppose that expansion of gas is there. Expansion of gas. Now, in the expansion of gas, suppose that the cylinder is fitted with wet lace piston and there is expansion of gas. So gas is there. So gas has two conditions. When it is in the initial state, see gas in the initial state. In the initial state, it has its internal energy. Suppose that internal energy UI, initial internal energy. Okay. And when gas expanded, then expansion of gas, it has its final state. Internal energy has its final state, because internal energy changes as the state changes, and it depends on the state of system. It is a state function, as we learned it in some previous lectures. So final state, it has some internal energy. Initial state, it has some internal energy. Okay, so this is internal energy. But how this gas expands? This gas expands by absorption of heat. Okay, so quantity of heat we supplied to the system, that is Q. Q is the quantity of heat supplied to the system. When this quantity of heat supplied to the system, the expansion of gas takes place and work done by the system on this piston. Work done by the system. This gas does some work to remove this piston in outward direction. So work done on the by the system. This work is done by the system. So this gas expands. So quantity of Q. So in the initial state, initial internal energy is UI, and another we added some heat. So UI plus Q is the heat added to the system. Okay, and this gas expands. So during this process, some work is done. Work is done by the system. That means this quantity should be minimized from final internal energy. So this during this process, some work is done. During this process, we added some heat. Heat must be absorbed by the system, and expansion of gas is there. And due to expansion, some work is done. So minus W. Here work is done by the system. So if work is done by the system, then this is final state internal energy. And we know that energy as the first law statements. From the statements of first law, what first law says? Energy remains constant. Only forms are changing. So initial and final energy must be constant, must be same. So according to the first law, UI plus Q equal to U final minus W. The initial state and final state energy must be same, because energy of universe remains constant. Only forms are changing. So initial and final energy must be same according to first law. So we rearrange this equation. So if we rearrange this equation, see Q is equal to UF minus UI minus W. Take this W here. So Q plus W here minus, it becomes plus here, and UF minus UI means it is a delta U. Okay, delta U is the change in internal energy which obtained from final and initial state. Okay, so delta U. So this equation becomes delta U equal to Q plus W, and this is the mathematical expression for first law of thermodynamics. This is the mathematical expression for first law of thermodynamics. Delta U is equal to Q plus W. We have saw here expansion of the gas. If in case of compression of the gas, this form changes to Q minus W. So it is a real form, but this form changes to Q minus W in case of compression type of work. And here the expansion type of work, here delta U is equal to Q plus W. So this is mathematical expression for first law of thermodynamics. Mathematical expression for first law thermodynamics. We have to study the second law of thermodynamics now. Okay, second law of thermodynamics now. But when there is a need of second law of thermodynamics, because first law of thermodynamics fails to attain many conditions or fails to attain many conditions where it is not applicable. Just we say energy transferred from one form into another form, but it cannot tells us about how much energy transfers, in which direction it transfers, whether the process is possible or not, whether this change is possible or not. So all these factors cannot explain by first law of thermodynamics. So need of another law. So that's why second law derived. And before starting second law of thermodynamics, we have to understand the inadequacies or inadequacies of first law of thermodynamics. Where first law fails, first law of thermodynamics, where it fails, so that why there is a need of second law of thermodynamics. Sometimes the question may ask like, why there is a need of second law of thermodynamics, or give the inadequacies of first law of thermodynamics, where it fails. Okay, so see the first failure of this first law of thermodynamics. Which information we cannot get from the first law of thermodynamics? Which information that we cannot get from first law of thermodynamics, that we have to see here. See the first inadequacy. First law of thermodynamics cannot tells us about extent of convertibility. Extent of convertibility. It cannot give any information about extent of convertibility. Extent of convertibility. That is, how much amount is extent, how much amount, just it says that one form of energy converted into another form. Another form. One form is converted into another form. This is general statement. So one form is converted into another form, but in how much amount, in how much extent, it cannot explain by the first law of thermodynamics. It's just a general statement and not the exact extent. We don't know exact extent of convertibility. So exact extent is not explained by this first law of thermodynamics. See, second, it cannot explain about the spontaneity of reaction. Spontaneity of reaction. What is the spontaneity of? Spontaneity means spontaneous reaction. Whether the change, whether this process is spontaneous or not. Okay. So that change, that spontaneity of reaction. Spontaneous reaction means which occurs naturally, which occurs by itself. There is no need of some external agency. So this is spontaneous reaction. So spontaneous, whether the reaction is spontaneous or not, that change may be spontaneous or not, that cannot explain by using this first law of thermodynamics. So spontaneity of reaction cannot explain by first law of thermodynamics. See, it cannot tell whether the change is possible or not. Change is possible or not. It cannot tell us about whether the change is possible or not. Possible or not? We say that electrical energy is converted into solar energy is converted into electrical energy by some device. So electrical energy is converted into solar energy, but this solar energy, this change is possible or not, that cannot be explained. That cannot explain by using this first law of thermodynamics. So change is possible or not, which is not explained by using this first law of thermodynamics. It is statement only. It is only thermodynamic. It is considered as a only thermodynamic statement. Statement only, and not useful for mechanical terms. It is merely considered as a thermodynamic statements and not the mechanical statement of mechanics. So in mechanics it is not useful. So one form of, if you consider the statement of first law of thermodynamics, that is one form is converted into another form is converted into another form. So these forms are continuously changes. There is no need of energy. So by using this principle, we can make a device, or we can make car, we can make bikes which requires no fuel. Such as if we see that there is a generator, electricity generator. The generator is running on this generator or the motor which runs on by using battery poles. If we attach these battery poles to this motor, then what happens? This battery supplies energy to this motor, so that this motor runs. And if we attach the electricity generator, which used to charge this battery, so this process may continue. That electricity provided by this battery to this motor runs here by electricity, and on this motor generator of electricity runs, which again charges this battery. So this process must be continued according to the first law of thermodynamics. This process must continue, but it not happens. So such type of system is not possible practically. So because there are some other losses of energy that we'll see in the second law of thermodynamics. But in actual, this is not possible. In practical, this is not possible. So this is not a practical statement. This is merely the statement of thermodynamics and not the statement of mechanics. So this type of system is not possible. Energy converted, but there are some losses. Those losses are not considered here in first law of thermodynamics. So these are inadequacies or limitations of first law of thermodynamics. It cannot tells us about extent of convertibility. It cannot tells us whether the change is spontaneous or not, whether the change is possible or not. It is only considered as a thermodynamic statement and not the statement of mechanics. So we have to consider the second law of thermodynamics, as the first law fails to explain all these factors. First law fails to explain all these factors. So in order to overcome these limitations, we have to see the second law of thermodynamics. So most of the limitations of first law of thermodynamics, inadequacies of first law of thermodynamics are covered in second law of thermodynamics.